So you can tweet out the show, 4th and John. We're gonna keep talking about the offensive line and defensive line. On the plus side, the defensive line looked nasty. You saw Connor Barwin and Brandon Graham taking a lot of snaps at defensive end. Barwin putting some spin moves on some people. You can't single up Fletcher Cox whatsoever. Benny Logan seems to be beasting, and he's going to earn himself a contract. Is this now the secondary? Right, the secondary was like in the preseason game. McKelvin got torched for a touchdown. Well, he took a gamble. He missed. Touchdown. Jalen Mills.
They looked, the lights came on.
The lights came on, didn't they?
But he wasn't home.
Well, yeah, and he looked a little lost out there.
I mean, a rookie's going to rookie.
Yeah, a rookie is going to rookie. So, does that defensive line make up for the secondary? In other words, can you hide a suspect secondary with that kind of defensive line?
You could. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really about the defensive front. It's really about gaining pressure. That's what Jim Schwartz does. I think, think about our defensive line. It's probably one of the top in the NFC East.
Right.
Right? Maybe top 10.
I just feel like
maybe
this is going to be
top 5.
Easy.
Defensive line.
Defensive line, maybe. Because if we're just measuring it on sacks, this wide 9 is the same scheme that made Jason Babin look like a Pro Bowler on several different teams, and he kept getting cut and going to the Pro Bowl, and another team kept getting cut, and so on and so forth. So it can be a top 5 offensive line or defensive line with sack stats. Back to the wide receivers.
Getting back to what about Nelson Aguilar?
And you made an observation during camp that
little stiff in the routes. I think he needs to hunker down in those routes.
He has speed, so it's. I find it hard that he can't get separation. I'm not understanding that whole thing.
Right.
Routes.
It's just
really about routes.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just shocking that he can't get any separation from any of the DBs.
But he did have a good catch today.
He did. Ruben Randall had a good catch.
But still, people were killing him on Twitter for the catch that he made. They're like, he shouldn't have jumped.
I mean, we just got to see it. We got to see it in the game, He's got to live up to that first round.
I think he's got a lot of pressure on him, though.
He does. I mean,
J Matt's not here.
Yeah,
he doesn't have.
And outside of J Matt, Nelson, he's that number 2, or he's expected to be that number 2.
And without J Matt, who in the NFL, if you put him on any other team, if you put him on half the teams in the NFL, he's a excellent number 2 receiver.
I agree.
But he's not a legitimate Larry Fitzgerald.
He's not a 1.
He's not a 1. He's not a bona fide 1. He would make an excellent number 2.
And something that I think kind of cripples J Matt. Of course, we haven't seen it that much, but I don't think J Matt can play outside as much as a lot of people say that he can, because a lot of people want to throw Nelson or Huff in the slot. I think Jordan performs best in the slot because of his size, and he lacks a little bit of speed.
Mike, what I want you to do is on Twitter, right, is screenshot and crop it down Nelson Aguilar's rookie stats.
Oh, jeez.
And then crop it down,
and
then look at Freddie Mitchell's, and let me know how terrifying that is to think that maybe
he's not Freddie Mitchell.
You don't think so?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Not yet.
All right, Mike. In the meantime, all right, we got some questions on Twitter. So why don't you rattle off some questions on Twitter? We want to talk to the people.
All right, I got a couple of questions right here from 2 people that I have so far. Okay. All right, one person is from our boy Jeffrey.
All right, what's
Jeffrey.
Cousin or Uncle Jeffy, crazy Uncle Jeffy.
All right, he asked, I'll toss you an easy one. He said, how many games until we could see Carson Wentz this year?
None.
Ooh.
Well, it's going to be one of 2 things, all right? And I said it in the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to be, number 1, they suck, which, judging by what we saw today, let's hope that that's not,
a little harsh, man.
You think I'm being harsh? You think I'm being like Eagles Twitter overreacting? The sky is falling.
I mean, one preseason game.
But our offensive line was bad last year. And the receivers, to the people who said it.
One preseason game, folks.
All right, so you think I should like slow my roll, slow the expectations?
If we look like this in the 3rd preseason game, then we should be concerned.
Okay.
We only had like 1 real series with our offense.
Right.
I mean that we're like 1 injury away from Bedlam.
Fucking disaster, man. Disaster. But to answer your question, Jeff, all right, it's going to happen one of two ways because they don't want it to happen. Number one, either they're going to be fucking terrible, all right, and they're just going to be, the fans got to be something to be excited about. The attendance is down. Half the stadium's filled by the time we get around to the Giants and the Cowboys, towards the end of the season. Not that at that point it might be out of range. The NFC East might be like we're pipe dreaming at that point. But to give the fans something to be excited about, maybe they put them in. Next Twitter question. Fire it away.
All right, next Twitter question. We have it from Steve Gaiske at Steve Gaiske 36. He said, when do you see this rebuild being done and the Eagles being competitive again? Sincerely, a very lonely fan in Maine.
Whoa, I'm going to Maine. I'm going to Maine. 2 weeks, I'm going to Maine. Maybe we can link up.
Territory. Which, by the way, I heard that the Patriots fans aren't even like that passionate about the Patriots. That it's a Red Sox city up there. That it's a baseball city, and that if you go up to Boston, it's like, yeah, the Patriots, but it's mostly like Red Sox and Bruins up there. How long before we become competitive? It's not. As somebody tweeted me out, and I don't like disagreeing with people when they tweet an opinion at me, but I just had to be like, dude, stop. It's not going to take that long. Somebody said that it's going to be a 5-year rebuilding process at best, and if Carson Wentz is a bust, it's going to be a 10-year, and that's too long. All right, year 1, you implement the system. I said this on the last podcast. Year 2, you perfect the system and get in the pieces that you need. Year 3, you make the run. That's exactly what happened with Andy. Year 1, he went like 5-11. All right, I think that's the year we drafted Corey Simon. The next year we make the playoffs, we get bounced by the Giants, and the next year we're in the NFC Championship game, and you have long sustained success. Now that isn't always going to happen. That's not but that's what the expectation is. We gave Chip Kelly 3 years to turn this program around, and he went from 4-12 to what, 12-4, or sorry, we had 10 wins all those years, the first 2 years.
Yep.
1 playoff loss, but he Ruben Amaro'd this friggin' thing where progressively year after year they got worse. What Doug's got to do now is just progressively get it better. And honestly, I give him 3 years. Philly Mike, anything else on Twitter going on?
Yeah, actually, I got something else going on Twitter right now. I got one of the real cool guys on Twitter. His name's _ Philly Talk. Yeah.
Familiar.
Yeah. Guy. His name is Goodwin Skip. He's a real Skip Bayless hater. All right. His question says, who has a better season, Vinny Curry or Benny Logan?
2 different positions,
yeah.
Right? So you measure
that's a good question.
2 different
I
ways.
like that question.
Stats-wise, or
he can't measure it in stats.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because Vinny Curry's going to eat on the
I think
outside.
Benny Logan's going to have a better year because it's his contract year.
Yeah, I might have to go with Vinny Curry.
Really?
I think he's going to be great in this team.
It's kind of hard to compare those guys.
It is. I just feel like Benny Logan, though, will have the better year. Cause
if Benny Logan does his job and Fletcher Cox does their jobs, those guys are going to eat on the outside.
Yeah.
So it's really...
It's hard.
If Benny Logan does his job, Curry will eat.
They both got things going for them. I apologize. I don't know how to answer that question.
You need to pick one.
Because first of all, Benny Logan, you did mention that he's going into a contract year, and any player will, when you dangle that carrot, that green carrot of money in front of them, all right, they will play a little better for that moolah. All right, it might not be the green on the helmet, but they're going to be playing for that green on the contract that they're about to get. Remember, this guy was a 3rd-round pick, right? 3rd round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So he didn't get that big 1st or 2nd round money. He's a 3rd-round pick. So, and this is an NFL where the collective bargaining agreement. There's a rookie wage scale. So you're in the 3rd round. You're in a bracket. You don't get paid unless you play your ass off and you get to that secondary contract. Right. All right.
You look at his teammate Brandon Graham driving around a Porsche. That's got to motivate you.
Exactly. So he's got that going for him. He's also got the fact that, okay, you got 2 defensive ends out wide. That takes care of the tackle. You're not going to single block. You're going to double Fletcher Cox. You have no choice but to double Fletcher Cox, which puts Benny all by himself against the guard. Either that or you're going away from him and you're double teaming. But either way, Fletcher's too quick. You got to double him.
Yep.
So he could eat like that. Now Vinny Curry, all right, according to people that I've talked to inside the building, has been one of the most outstanding teammates to ever wear an Eagles uniform because he was drafted in the 2nd round. expected playing time, didn't get it his first season, then switched to a 3-4, which he was completely out of place on, never bitched once. Just worked his ass off. They tried him at linebacker. It wasn't working out. Did everything he could to see playing time. Now they reward him with a big fat contract. They reward that patience. They reward that hard work. They reward that dedication. And they reward the fact that he didn't bitch. And they give him that big ass contract. They're going to put him in a wide 9 and see what he can do.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, Vinny Curry
I really can't.
Has got so much bottled up in him that he's going to be like a race car, just revving, ready to go.
Yeah.
So who ends up better? I don't know. I hope they both kill it this year. I got to give the nod to Vinny just because he's on the outside with sack stats.
No, I understand.